taking this opportunity to apologize to Eric. I gave him sort of a hard time during the whole wedding planning. Seeing as an older brother, you can only call your brother so many times. You hear the words, "Sorry, dude, I can't hang out. I'm making arts and crafts again this weekend." I think Campbell and I had the same conversation 100 times last year with something like, "Yo, dude, is Eric coming out tonight?" "No, man, he's making bunting and streamers again tonight." "What the hell is bunting?" "No idea, man. I don't know what bunting is, but he's not hanging out." Does anyone know what bunting is? Anyway, all jokes aside, no other couple can say they worked as hard as these two in planning their wedding. All right, so this is a surreal moment for me. My brother, my best friend, marrying the girl of his dreams. I just couldn't be happier for this kid. And so many times throughout my life, I've caught myself staring at Eric and thinking one of two things. Either I was really proud of him, or realizing, shit, he's cooler than me. Before I tell a few stories, I want to honor several special people who are sadly no longer with us today. I'd like to start to thank a few good men who, without a doubt, had a positive impact on Eric's childhood. They taught him to be unselfish, free-spirited, and most importantly, to be happy. Raymond Koski, Danny Petreka, and Dick Bernanke, otherwise known as Beanie, Danny, and Stretcher. For you guys. It was three of my dad's best friends in elementary school, and each one of them loved Eric very much. I would next like to salute our grandfather, Arnold. No man has influenced Eric and I more than Grandpa. We will always say that he was simply the greatest man we've ever met. A flawless person who taught us that nothing is more important than family. As I said at the engagement party, Grandpa lives on through Eric. The same way Grandpa used to treat Grandma with so much love and with so much respect, it's exactly the way Eric treats Christy, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. I'd also like to honor Christy's mother and grandfather. I never got to meet Susan, but I've seen photos. I can tell from just her smile that she must have been an incredible woman. Yes. I'm sure she's smiling down upon us today, watching her daughter marry the man of her dreams. And lastly, Christy's grandfather, Nicholas, who sadly recently passed. After Eric's first Christmas with Christy's family, he couldn't stop talking about Nicholas. He really enjoyed all the stories about the Marines and the Yankees, and he really made it an enjoyable occasion. So these people will forever be in our hearts. We should be grateful, because without them, we wouldn't be here today. All right, so let's spend the rest of the time talking about the man of the hour, my brother, my best friend, the sweatiest human on the freaking planet. The only man here today who has peed in a diaper at a fish festival. Everyone here knows my brother and I have a special relationship. We've always supported each other through the good times and bad. Yeah, he peed. We've gone to hundreds of concerts together. We celebrated his birthday in a bomb shelter in Jerusalem. Spent literally days together in the backseat of a station wagon. Double dated chicks from Finland. Remember that? That was awesome. And had one hell of a time in New Orleans for his bachelor party. New Orleans! As a wise man once said, it's not an experience if they can't bring someone along. So for me, our relationship started on November 19th, 1989. Eric was about to turn 3. I was 6. It was my dad's birthday. And it was the day that Eric was also attacked by a dog. That's really great, guys. Laugh at that. So this really isn't the time or place to talk about dog maulings. So I'll make this short. But I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in the back seat. My dad's going 120 miles per hour down Rivervale Road with a police escort to the hospital. My brother is screaming. There is blood everywhere. And I just remember screaming, "Mommy, Mommy, is Eric going to be okay? Is Eric going to be okay?" I mentioned the attack because obviously Eric is okay. Look how handsome he is. But for me, it put everything into perspective. I realized that day, at a young age, how important this kid was to me. I I realized in that back seat that we weren't invincible and that I loved him very much. Eric's face was so swollen that night we had to take down every mirror in the house. It's also not funny. My parents gave him his birthday and Hanukkah gifts that night to distract him from the pain. And I'll never forget Eric playing with his Batman action figures that night, smiling ear to ear like nothing ever happened. For the first time, I was proud of my brother. On a lighter note, it wasn't long after the Maps incident that Eric scared the shit out of us once again. It was 1992, and the Levines were going on their first cruise. Eric was 6, I was 9, and we were off to the Caribbean. I remember Eric and I immediately wandering on the boat, amazed at the size of the ship and all the free food. And then, on top of the ship, the greatest thing I've ever seen, a basketball court. My dad spends thousands of his hard-earned money on a vacation, and I do the same thing I do in my driveway every single day. I just shoot hoops. So Eric would go back and forth from watching me playing basketball to hanging by the pool with Mom and Dad. I remember getting back to the room one day and seeing my parents out in the veranda, and then literally reenacting a scene from Home Alone. Eric was nowhere to be found. They thought he was with me, I thought he was with them. I'm sure everyone right now is thinking about Eileen's reaction. It was crazy shit. So we split up. We searched the entire boat. Nothing. Hours passed, no sign of Eric. We can't help but look over the ship into the ocean and think the worst. My parents reach out to the captain, who finally starts calling for Eric on the PA system. Still, no sign of Eric. I remember my stomach hurting as we paced the cabin, tears falling down my face, and then a knock on the door. The three of us jump up, open the door, and what do we see? A very cute teenage girl wearing minimal clothing. And who's behind her, holding her hand, but a little boy with a huge curly afro and a shit-eating grin on his face. Derek. Sorry, I meant Eric. For those who don't know, Derek is his alter ego. He looks so confident, I was waiting for him to pull out like a post-coital cigarette. So, while my mom and dad were busy doing our thing, a group of teenage girls spotted Eric, thought he was adorable, and kidnapped him. They took Eric back to the cabin, accidentally fell asleep. So I stood there in shock, staring at the pretty girl, staring at Eric, for the first time in my life thinking, damn it, he's cooler than I am. So luckily, the rest of our relationship has been filled with less dog accidents and missing person reports. Growing up, we were always close, but it took Eric a while to find himself. As my father just alluded to, Eric, like most little brothers, tried to follow in my footsteps from a pretty early age. And it probably wasn't easy. And Johnny, Shell, Ross, and I are winning Little League championships. I'm scoring touchdowns and home runs in the reg. We had to store some of my trophies in Eric's room because I didn't want to room in my room. Like, I didn't put fucking all-star stuff in your room. But over the years, I can remember different chapters of Eric's life quite vividly. I remember his wrestling figure phase, when his room was literally a Monday Night Raw event every night of the week. I remember walking into his room during his drawing phase, and I'd go in there and he'd show me paintings of sunflowers and lily pads, and I'm like, Eric might like dudes. Everything changed after my father bought Eric guitar and drum lessons. He was a new person, a more confident person. I remember inviting friends over. The first thing they would do is go downstairs and listen to Eric play tunes. And at first I was jealous, but soon I came to my senses. It was then, after years of kicking him out of my room, as Ross and I rated girls based on looks. Yep, that happens. That I realized not only was he definitely cooler than me, but I was proud of him again. There was no competing between the two of us after Eric fell in love with music, only support, and most importantly, friendship. Everybody in this room today can most likely state that at some point in your life, Eric's musical ability, whether it was at a club in the West Village, a park in Hillsdale, or in somebody's basement, at some point, Eric's allowed you to forget about all the negative aspects of your life. At some point, he has simply rocked your world and put a smile on your face.
Woo!
To this day, to this moment, right now, I think of him as a legend. To me, my brother is larger than life, easily the most passionate person I know. He's a man of his word and someone I lean on every single day. Most people don't know this, but his passion for politics rivals that of music. I work with some smart people, some MBAs, some Ivy Leaguers, and I would pick my brother in a political debate any day of the week. Yeah. But as an older brother, nothing makes me more proud than the way he treats Christy. Throughout our friendship, I've done my best to help him make informed decisions about most things in life. But when it comes to love and finding the right one, I find myself now looking up to Eric. As I mentioned at the engagement party, our family has gone through a lot over the last 10 years. The Levines, Zuckermans, Dubnauts, Lehmans, Delaney's. We've all battled some serious challenges. And while it's been a struggle, we continue to stay strong, to laugh, and to support each other. As my father always says, you can knock us down, we'll always get back up. Eric and I constantly talk about rebuilding the family. Well, here we are, welcoming not only Christy, but her entire family to help us get back on our feet. And Eric, while most people thought I would be the one to start the rebuilding process, you stepped up and have become a role model for the entire family, a legend. My only advice to you now is to simply keep up the good work. I love you, man, and I'm proud of you. We've had some memorable nights together. Let's make tonight the best one yet. To conclude, I'd like to lift my glass and say, I'm the man of the mountain! Come on up!
I'm the plowman in the valley with a face full of mud.
Yes, I'm fumbling and I know my car